This place. It must have been drawing them all here. Answering some call to join Father's army. How many of Enoch's creatures are being lured by this place? Called by Father.
Okay, so the way this build is, before I break down, the details of the build, what I want to tell y'all is y'all want to run, like the way you want to roll this build is you want to just spam your uh turrets as much as possible. Just be careful where you place your cryo turrets sometimes because you want to make sure the cryo turrets can see and hit everything. You know, since the cooldown is a little bit slower than the first build, you want to make sure you just optimize where you are, or at least stand by your turrets if you don't think you'll have them in time. They have really good cooldown, so don't worry about it. But just make sure your turrets can see everything. But what I want to say is based on where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Uh, must be the shoes. Okay, yeah, Untamed Power. So this build is definitely still an OP turret build. But what makes me stand out from everybody else, I take advantage of Untamed Power. So this build, this Technomancer is an in-your-face, up-close and personal Technomancer. Like he has no problem getting in between the enemy's booty cheeks. That's where you want to be. You want to smell their farts. Excuse me, but yeah, that's how close you want to be. 5 meters is really, really small. So that's why you want to be up close and personal. But pretty much every time you activate a skill, you do damage, anomaly damage to the enemy, and it's gonna be. It says one. It'll say a number right there, right? But that number really means nothing because what it's gonna do is 30% of your anomaly power. So however high your anomaly power is, it's gonna give 30% damage of that. So right now with nothing activating, this is just my base anomaly power. Now this number is going to skyrocket during battle because once you start activating everything, that's going to be high as hell. So that's why you want to be up close and personal with that. So to the build, we have Techmonger's mask. As y'all can see, we're just gonna go general. So I'm rocking the Techmonger's mask, Techmonger's vest, Techmonger's legs. That's really necessary for activating the bonus. You want to have at least 3 pieces of the Techmonger gear. Well, it's actually not even Techmonger. Excuse me. My third piece is the shoes, the Techmonger shoes. So uh, I opted out of the Techmonger pants. Instead, I'm using torrential downpour legs. Just because of the options that I needed to roll, and the pants didn't necessarily have all the things necessary to be like super good. It was good enough, but this is the upgrade. So, starting with the helmet or the mask, you want to have uh, double trouble, which gives you upgraded turrets that has 2 barrels instead of one. Then you want to have twins, which gives you 2 turrets, and that rolls on the Borealis Monarch gear. Um, and then you want to roll with Anomaly Echo. Well, this is how I got it. You don't necessarily have to have like each piece exactly how I have it, as long as you have all these mods in some kind of combination on your gear. I have pretty much God roll with this, where Anomaly Echo rolled automatically on there, and anybody that knows Anomaly Echo is going to give you a lot of firepower and a lot of anomaly power every time you activate a skill. So we're going to be spamming our skills, so that's why this is definitely clutch. As far as the chest piece, we have Hazardous Modifications, which pretty much makes your blighted turret go from a poison launcher, which is sprayed poison, now to a poison cannon. It shoots giant balls of poison uh, explosion, pretty much. It's like a toxic explosion. And you'll hear it. It's loud, like it's a cannon. And what this will do, it will also give you more range. As far as that, it'll give you 50% more range. Then we're rocking Arms of Anomaly, which is super dope for anomaly builds. If you don't have this on, then you're probably missing out on a lot of power. But you every time you hit critical shots, it gives you bonus anomaly power for whatever number depending on your gear. But mine says 157,179 for 6 seconds. So that means every 6 seconds you want to be hitting crit shots. I just rock with just shooting crit shots whenever possible at all times, just so I can keep rocking it. But if you know how to time it right, then you can optimize it and make sure it stays up all the time. I happen to have Frostbite roll on it, which is not the best, but it's good enough because I'm rocking Cold Snap. So any enemy that is hit with Cold Snap has less resistance by 20%. So that means all of my anomaly stuff is going to be doing more damage to them because they're not as resistant. Because y'all know some of these enemies have resistances to these stuff. So that'll get rid of 20% of that. Then we have Circle of Power, which is what rolled on it. It could be better, but this will give you more resistance by 10% for every time you use a skill, and it stacks up to 3 times. It deteriorates over a 7 second period, but this will boost our overall survivability, which is not really a problem. But who wouldn't want to stay alive longer? Then I put Verulian Compound on it, which deals 10% more damage to elites affected by toxic or blight fire. Affected elites explode when killed, dealing a bunch of damage and spreading toxic or that status to enemies within a 5 meter radius. I can't even really talk. Then it rolled with Rejuvenation. Again, could have been better, but it gives us extra firepower, extra anomaly power, which is always good, and extra armor whenever our health is replenished, which is going to be nonstop. So that's pretty good as well. Of course, there's much more optimization you can have in this build. You can make it stronger if you get even better rolls than I got. We're rocking just normal purple gloves, the clairvoyance gloves, because again, I wanted to go with anomaly. The Technomancer gloves don't have anomaly power. This does, and then they also have skill leech, which is another bonus feature you will see soon. Uh, but I popped on Euthanizer because we are going to make the enemies do 16 or take 16% more damage while toxic or while poisoned, which is pretty much everybody. They're going to always be toxic, poisoned. Then we have fresh mags. Every time you reload, that's another thing. You want to constantly reload like every 5 seconds or whatever like that, because every time you do that, it gives you a boost in anomaly power. Then I had it roll with Aura of Force, which is another really good roll because critical shots grant more anomaly power to me and my allies. So that's going to help you and your teammates, which is definitely dope. So that's why you want to be hitting crit shots as much as possible. Then we have the Techmonger's Boots, which don't have anomaly power, but it has max health, so of course survivability, skill leech, cooldown reduction. It has improved coolant. You want to always have this because I tried it without improved coolant. The turrets shoot really, really slow without this, so you want to always have this on there. But it doubles the fire rate of the deployed turrets. So after that, you got Hellshot, which is another given. It increases the damage of the turrets based on your status power. Hence the reason why, I got a lot of stuff with status power. Now, you could optimize it because currently I only have 3 pieces of gear with it. This, which has anomaly cooldown status. This one has anomaly cooldown status. And this one has anomaly skill leech status. Hence the reason why, it's the cooldown is a little bit less than the last build, but you don't need that cooldown. It's good enough. But then we have anomaly, close range, and skill leech, and then we have skill leech, cooldown, max health, blah blah blah. And I broke down already in detail Untamed Power, so I'm not going to go over that again. But that's definitely a really good way to boost and get incredible damage when you're up close to an enemy. And I'll show an example of, because even your melee triggers it. But before I show the example of that, the one, like, you're only going to be using the main bread and butter gun, the final penance. Now, my stuff looks different because I, transmog them to look a different way. But anybody that knows, the final penance looks different. This is how it normally looks right here. But I decorated mine. So Final Penance is so good because it always comes with Mage's Rage. Everybody knows Mage's Rage is really good. Again, remember when I was saying crit shots? You want to be doing crit shots. That also helps with this as well because it'll give you 10% anomaly bonus for 15 seconds and it stacks up to 4 times. So that's 40% extra anomaly power for crit shots. So mainly you just want to get 4 crits because it stacks up to 4 times. And you want to make sure you want to always see the yellow thing pop up 4 times, then it activated. It'll show a little blast as well around you when it activates. I'm not sure if that is Stat or Fortress, but one of them will activate. It'll let you know. But also, the Final Penance is so good because since it always comes with Mage's Rage, you want to put Fortress on it as well, so you're going to double down. So now it's going to give you more armor and resistance for survivability. And then when you hit max stacks, it'll give you a bonus 20% extra increased damage for 10 seconds. That bonus 20% is universal. So it'll give you just 20% more damage for everything you do, not just anomaly. And I didn't get a god roll on it, so it came with ultimate weakening bullets, which is not bad. What it does is it'll put weakness on the enemies, so pretty much the enemies are doing less damage to you. The pistol, you're not going to use the pistol as well either, but it has skill leech and status power. And if y'all don't know, even though these guns you won't have out, the attributes that they have will still be active, as y'all can see. It contributes to my overall stats. If you look at it, my status power is 122. It can definitely be a lot higher if you roll, the rest of your gear with status. But as you will see soon, this build don't necessarily need that. I say skill leech is more important because if you look right now, this is only at 50%. So if you go to my skill tree, you'll see. So of course we're going to be rocking Blighted Turret, Cold Snap, Cryo. That's a given. This is what my tree is looking like. This is pretty much a tree I've been rocking for a long time. Didn't change it because it's still good. But as y'all can see, I start by coming down here and grabbing these things. This is very important because it's going to give you an extra 30% anomaly power whenever you activate your Blighted Turret. This one is going to make the enemies weaker when they're at less than 30% health or 30% or less. Then what we want to do is when we go backtrack this way and we're going to go up and get Exposing Toxin and Marked for Execution. This is going to make the enemies weaker while poisoned by a lot, and that's going to be really dope. Some people, double down and get this too, but then it'll take away from something in this tree or somewhere, and you don't want to take away from any of that. I mean, you might make it work, but you want to just keep going forward, and I just grabbed, these ones, and y'all want to follow this and do the same. And pretty much this is going to help you and your teammates stay alive. And you can either go for extra skill leech. I went with, making the enemies squishier by 30%, while they're frozen. To me, this is way more important than just a 6% increase with skill leech. I might test it in the future to see, but I do recommend doing fracture instead. Now, you want to go all the way over to this tree. Some people don't go all the way over to this tree, but overclock is very important. Every time you activate a gadget, you increase your anomaly power and weapon damage by 40% for 10 seconds. That is a lot. And then when you lose health, let's say they somehow get you to 0 health. Once you hit 0, it'll give you a second life. It'll like bring you back to life with 50% max health. And this happens every 108 or 180 seconds, which seems like a lot, but it's going to take a lot to kill you with this build, to be honest. But this will give you a second chance. So you have 2 lives now, or pretty much infinite lives. You shouldn't go down with this build at all, especially if you know how to use it right. It's going to be hard to die with this build, very hard. Now we're going to go to the Pax tree. Pax tree it might look a little bit different. Some of y'all might have seen people doing this as well. This is pretty much more optimal. Most people will go Initial Striker, Lethal Decay, Painkiller, Prominence, and then Dissection. We don't need this extra damage for these status effects, so we're not going to go that way. What we're going to do is we're going to just pick Initial Striker and Lethal Devices, and then we're going to go Undying at the bottom, Override, and then this one, just to make sure, everybody that you play with are getting, healed, and you as well. This is, again, for more survivability. Now, override, as y'all can see, 50% increased uh, bonus value. Now that's 50% more anomaly power based on my skill leech. And remember how I was showing y'all how my skill leech was at 50%? That's why skill leech is important. Because right now it'll convert all of my skill leech to 100% anomaly power. So however high your skill leech is, you're going to get that boost in anomaly power. So I'm getting a 50% boost just with this alone. Then right here, for every 5% of your health that's missing, you get weapon leech and skill leech, which is going to in turn, increase that from 50% to something higher during battle. You're going to see a lot of the stuff take place during battle. And then everybody knows lethal decay or lethal devices is super, super, super strong. So this will give me anomaly power as well, based on, the damage of the poison and how much poison you put on the enemies and, doing damage to poison enemies and every time it's refreshed. So that is super dope. Then this one will give me more anomaly power because it'll give either anomaly power or firepower, whichever one is higher. This one, anomaly power, is going to always be higher. So it's going to give us a 10% boost to anomaly power for 5 seconds every time we activate, a skill, which we're going to be doing a lot of. Now, to Ascension Tree, what you want to always do, you want to always start off with boosting anomaly power and anomaly damage. Then, we're going to do skill leech. I mean, skill leech is important as well, too. So you can actually, do them in whatever order you want. But you always want to have these maxed out. Anomaly power, skill leech, status power, and anomaly damage. Everything else you can pretty much put where you want. I choose to put it in, damage against elites because, at the end of the day, the big bosses is what we're here for. And as y'all can see, I shredded the boss really, really quick. Like the elites just go down super fast. But also, critical damage, since you got to get crits, that's important for this build. You can also invest in that as well. But other than that, oh wait, no, not damage, not crit damage, my bad. Crit chance. You want to go into crit chance because the more chances you get to hit a crit, the better you can activate the other stuff. But then y'all can sprinkle them anywhere else y'all want. Of course, this build is not optimal because I'm not at, my character's not maxed out. But this will carry you throughout the whole game. It's gonna pretty much like cheese everything. It's gonna be easy mode. But as y'all can see, everything I do with Untamed Power, well, I can't do anything right here, so it won't show it. That sucks. But pretty much, every time you activate a skill or melee, it'll be a small blast around you, and that blast will do that damage based on your anomaly power. Now, if y'all look at the map at the top, each one of those are, I think, a 5-meter thing. So the first one will be 5, then they'll 10, then 15. So a 5-meter radius, it would be from here where I'm standing to that station right there, which is very small, which is why you want to always be up under the enemies and just pretty much spamming stuff and meleeing, and then of course just aiming back up to shoot them to get more crits and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much how you want to roll this character. Let's go back to the tree or back to the player. Now you're just gonna mainly just be using this weapon. As y'all seen, I don't switch from this. This right here is my base anomaly right now. This is gonna skyrocket when you start playing and activating stuff. Now y'all see it was at 595. Just by me reloading and using fresh mag, you'll see just with one small boost, it takes that to 693 now. You see what I'm talking about? So during battle, this number is gonna be going higher and higher and higher and higher. Now at one point, as y'all can see, and you can pause, I paused in the middle of a fight just to show y'all where it was at the time. And I think it was at like 2 point something mil. You can reach higher than that. I've seen it higher than 3 mil, at one time. So getting that power is going to be a no-brainer. Definitely going to be a no-brainer for this build. But if y'all like, what y'all see and you are having fun with the build and you think this build is like really good, definitely hit this video with a like. Hit up the comments for any details or any updates or anything y'all want to ask and let me know about. Subscribe if y'all want to see more stuff. I'm going to be making more builds like this. I also have a Devastator. He's not built up yet, but I will be making Devastator videos in the future. But right now, I'm concentrating on the Technomancer. And I will soon be looking into making Tools of Destruction build. So look forward to that, or shrapnel grenades. That's also another thing that's in the works. But I appreciate those people that were in the comments. Let me know that my audio was a little bit bad in the last video. I appreciate you, and also appreciate the other person that was asking if I was maxed out, and he was willing to help me run through stuff. But as y'all can see with this build, I solo everything, so I don't really need help. I'll be one of the people that will be doing carries as well. This build can even go into higher apocalypse tiers and do just perfectly fine. So don't worry about that. But yeah, that will be all for this video. If y'all like what y'all see and y'all want to see more, subscribe to my channel. I am just getting started, and it's a work in progress, But I'm a gamer, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm grinding it out. So yeah, if y'all know people that rock Technomancer, show them this build, show them this video, let them know, and let me know in the comments if y'all play this, how y'all like it, how y'all running it. But until next time, peace out, people.